here we begin with GST classes for CA, CMA, CS Inter. Right now, as we begin the classes, there are so many doubts for the students which should be clear. And the first one is these classes are 100% in English. I may crack some jokes in the flow in Hindi. अब उसको भी convert करेंगे English में. But these are 100% English classes. Second thing is there are some chapters which are added in CA Inter. This batch is applicable for all the 24 exams. May, November, June, December, all. And if you ask me, ma'am, is it regular batch or it's a fast track? It's a combination. The ultimate purpose of this batch is to help you get the result. Now, if I can go very slowly, 60 lectures, 70 lectures, I will enjoy teaching, you will enjoy learning. I will take you to the website. But I am teaching DT also, and I know how vast DT is. In salary chapter, in deductions, in TDS, there are so many rates and limits to remember. So the mindset I have made it, okay, at inter level, whatever GST is required best for exam, and whatever we learn, we'll try to link it practically. That is enough. I'm not going to burden you with so much of GST excess knowledge, which is not required at inter level. And if you try to stretch it like this and do, then you will forget. For 50 marks, you cannot remember all. Like I'm being very frank, when I teach DT, direct taxation, I skip all the deductions of ATI series. ATI A, B, take that risk of 3 marks. Once in a blue moon it comes. So being very honest with all of you, I'm telling you that this is the way. These classes will go on every alternate day for around 30 classes. That's what I have planned. Now, depending upon your response, it will have concept, it will have practice of all the problems, it will have weightage wise preparation, like output minus input GST, how to present the question, which comes every exam 8 marks. Value of supply 6 marks, free question. So these chapters are going to be highlighted. Exemptions I will teach in 2 classes. Main exemptions, you can't remember that chapter 4 exemptions, this is exempt, it's not possible. So then in those topics, exam based, like postal exemptions, like this is going to be the flow of the class. And definitely it will have exams. Already Sunday we are taking direct taxes exam. Now exams, it's not my dominance always in the class. You will see my way of teaching over the classes. But it's like you suggested, after preparation of every chapter, whatever may be the day, you want to take 1 day's break and write the exam. Some of the chapters are very small, like first and second. So you can write the exam 2 chapters. Exam will have MCQs, theory questions, case studies, and your practical questions all. Okay? Are your doubts clear? Now, one of the common doubt is, ma'am, every day we are meeting you morning 11 to 1:30 live in YouTube and you are taking DT Sarathi batch. Then why not GST is live? To be very honest, when I teach 100%. I'm enjoying those live classes. But I'm feeling that in YouTube, there's a constraint. Students are not asking their doubts. Here, I'm giving you the power. Excuse me, ma'am. You can pause me and clear your doubt now itself, unmuting or putting it in chat box. Chat box is also on, right? So there's a different kind of comfort and students are most focused to learn. No charges for these live classes, but of course, if you want recorded in that, nominal charges you have to pay. And material chapter wise, 2 chapters, I'm sending you PDF. Take a printout at the end. If you want the whole PDF together, I'll send that also. Okay, right? So one reason of taking the Zoom classes is I felt there is a distance between a teacher and a student in the YouTube classes. Here you are comfortable, ask your doubts in chat box, unmute, wait after the recording is closed. If you have any doubt, let me help you to build up a right mindset also for the upcoming CA CMA exam. Sirf padhana hi important hai. Second thing is, I don't know, when I'm saying it is a DT fast track batch, I go very slow in the concept because unless the concept is not fitted, income tax and GST is a theory subject? No. It's a practical subject? No. It's an application based subject. You have to apply the concept and solve the question. right? Like a very chapter 2 in your GST supply. Is this supply of goods? Is this services? Is this exempt? Is it covered in? So simple questions are asked. They'll give you some case and they will ask you. So you have to apply the knowledge. Now for that application of knowledge, you have to learn. See, few things are to be understood. Few things are to be learned. Chew karke kha jana. So what is happening in the YouTube live class, because I have committed, I'll complete the batch and I'll put my 100%. But students are watching the videos at 1.5 speed. Already it's a fast track batch. If you watch at 1.5 speed, you will definitely understand. But you will not be able to learn it in a way that your pen should flow in exam. वो नहीं होगा. बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. And after completing that 3 hours lecture in 1.5 speed pay in 1.5 hour, 1 hour is going here and there. So we know what is the worth of our career, of our future, of our life. Then why don't we take it seriously? I'm also not willing to waste 1 minute of myself. Morning, income tax, GST, then costing, taxation. So many things are going on. My final students are self-preparing, but now and then they keep asking doubts in Telegram, WhatsApp. You all know I always clear doubts. Keep clicking the picture, sending in Telegram, WhatsApp, wherever you are connected. Doubt clearing is the first authority of the student. Only thing I want is attend the classes in a committed way. Write what I'm making you write. Ma'am, your notes are only good. DT compiler. How many of you have taken the printout of DT compiler? Tell me. रोज इतनी बातें नहीं करेंगे, आज ही कर रहे हैं. बोलो. Have you taken? Yeah. See, then. So if you have taken the DT compiler printout, then you know it that everywhere there is a concept, there is an example. Still few things I'm making you write. Write it. It's to fit in your mind. Click the picture and send me after this class in WhatsApp, Telegram, wherever you are connected. Now you tell me. I want your minds to be very fresh. Are all your doubts clear? Promise you all are going to meet me every alternate day. Frankly speaking, at my home also, my mother-in-law is bedridden, absolutely not well. So you must have seen in the morning classes, those who all are attending live, ki main beech beech mein utke, I say, okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes and all. So it does happen, right? Okay. So for that reason, I may shuffle the classes. Like instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I may take one class extra on Saturday like that. So definitely, but it will be completed in time before your May exam or your June exam. And 99% the exams are going to be postponed for elections. So we'll have, yeah. GST also, I'll put the revision videos in the YouTube. Yeah, one question asked by one of the students today in the afternoon, ma'am, what's the difference between your revision videos and the fast track batch? Revision video, house property, business head, capital gain, GST, one chapter completed in 1 hour or 1.5 hour. Gist. So that whenever you are traveling, you're waiting, you're walking, you can put your headphones and listen, revise. That's what is the revision video's purpose. Fast track batch, we are learning the concept, we are writing booster notes, we are solving the question in writing, I'm giving the homeworks. That is it. Okay? Anyone is having any doubt? So let us start the class by clapping for ourselves, trusting Dipti ma'am also, that together we are going to bring the best result in coming exam. What help you want from my side, that you say, right? Chalo, thank you so much. And keep the chat box live. If I know if you're attending through mobile, then difficult to turn and chat may type karna. But if you're attending through laptop full screen, preferably do take part in the chat. Okay, right. Now I'm sharing the screen for second. I was seeing why it's not live in YouTube. I'm so much used to taking classes. My technical person who makes all thumbnail, he keeps saying, ma'am, why don't you record it at your pace and upload? I said, I can't do that. That extempore comes when we are live. Chalo. Any queries you have, please keep on asking. Can you see I'm sharing the screen, dear students? Yeah. 1 second. Please give me time. I'll keep the chat also open. Any doubt you have, you can ask. And if you are leaving, please message me and leave, because these are like complimentary classes and kabhi bhi aana, kabhi bhi jana, aisa mat karna, discipline. 1 second, dear students. Yeah. Some of you I'm seeing right now in the class that you all have not filled up the form and still attending the classes. So, aaj to theek hai, but later on I'll not allow, for sure. And some of you are asking me, ma'am, photo क्यों चाहिए, signature? अरे जैसे offline class में करते हो ना, you all attend the classes, and for your authenticity, dear students, no misuse of any of the data, please trust me. I can understand your concern. All right. So this is our notes for the GST. Yeah, right. And all instructions, if you are using it in the app. Okay, one thing I wanted to say, there are some chapters which have been exclusively added for CA's exam. And I know there are students here who are writing CMA exam. So I'll say that time that CMA students are not having. And so absolutely, if you wish, 1 second, if you wish, you can skip those classes if you're writing CMA. There are students who are writing CA exam in May and CMA in June. Definitely should attend all the classes. But I really respect that, because if it is not a relevant chapter and if you don't have to study TDS, TCS in CMA Inter, don't burden yourself, right? Chalo. Now, because this is a first class, 1 second, dear students. Because this is your first class, let us understand GST's term in our own way. Can I ask all of you to open your notebooks? Chat box is again on. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Today we are doing the first chapter in the GST, chapter 1, and that is introduction. Okay. GST is called as Goods and Service Tax, and it started on 1st of July 2017. Okay, let me tell you one thing, dear students, at Inter level, especially CMA Inter students, the chapter 1's weightage is, it is going to give you the base building for the GST preparation. And second, this chapter 1, from the chapter 1, they are asking very beautiful small MCQs. So I hope you all have taken a printout of notes, so that I'll say, okay, mark this important for MCQ. Do 3D, 4, 5D makeup of your notes. Okay. Just don't read the notes from PDF. That is never recommended for professional exam. Bilkul printout le lo. Okay. Right. So GST started on 1st July 2017 in India. Okay. Yeah, these basic are also asked. And it started on 8th of July 2017 in Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, it's applicable to whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the concept of GST is when you are selling goods. Earlier, what was charged? VAT. Okay. Yeah, Gautam, thank you so much for asking that question. That will clarify to others also. All the amendments which are applicable for May and June exam have been incorporated. Chapter 1, there is no amendment. Chapter 2, today after the class, turn the pages and see. Latest amendment, it has been added at the end of the chapter, and I will teach you. I'll make you solve the problems also for amendment. But write and keep it on the rubber stamp. If you're writing CA exam, place of supply is going to be highlight in the May 24. Since more than 2 decades, I'm teaching this subject. This is a first class. Can I give my introduction? We never give introduction in live classes. Hello, all of you. My name is CA Dipti Chheda. I qualified my CA exam in 1999 November. My result came in 2000. And I studied all my CA from Nagpur, Maharashtra. In the same year when result came, I got married, came to Hyderabad, and more than 2 decades I have been teaching. But it was like offline classes, then online, and now it is offline and online both. And my subjects are DT, IDT, costing, and those who know, it is accounts also. I got 95 in accounts, so I know how I do, but because I don't want to make it very vast and give best coaching. And DT and GST, like every 6 months, the material, my chapter wise question paper, my booster notes, my compiler changes. So to justify the subject, I had to leave one subject, and now I'm not teaching accounts. Costing and tax also I cleared in first attempt with exemption, but I cleared one group at a time, and final I failed twice. One aggregate and once in law. So that's a different story some other day. That's my story. Hardly 6 months after qualification, I practiced with a CA and didn't like it. It's not it's bad, but I didn't like that audit wala funda, like sandwich between the client and the department. I said, no, this is not my cup. And since I was doing CA Inter, all my friends used to take Xerox of all my booster notes. Like you're seeing in DT, I give advance money forfeited, this. So that's what I think motivated me to come into this beautiful royal profession, teaching profession. Now all your amendments are covered. Can I start now? Acha laga introduction? Enjoy the classes, ask your doubts, be comfortable. That's the reason. Otherwise, you know my confidence in live classes. Why would I not make this also live? Yeah. So let us go to the notebook. Goods and service tax started in 2017, right? When you sell goods to someone, earlier VAT was charged. In some cases, central sales tax was there. And whenever you give services, like I'm giving you right now, coaching services, service tax was charged. If you are a manufacturer and if you are manufacturing, excise duty was charged. If you are an import and exporter, custom duty was charged. So many kind of multiple taxes were there. And of course, on your own income, you have to pay income tax. So on your own income, you have to pay income tax. But my own income, I am paying income tax to government in the form of advance tax, or someone else is paying little tax on my behalf in the form of TDS. That's why this is called as direct taxes. How do you call it direct taxes? Direct taxation mein only income tax is there right now. Those who know earlier history, wealth tax, gift tax used to be there, but it is not there now, right? So direct tax is there in income tax, and indirect taxes. Why do we call these as indirect taxes? GST. Yeah. If I am saying I'm using this digital pen and I purchased it for 4,000, inclusive of all taxes, am I bearing the GST in this? Yes. If it is manufactured in India, am I bearing the excise duty in it? Yes. So all the taxes are borne by me. But when I'm buying the pen for 4,000, it is inclusive of all taxes. So I am paying GST not directly to department. I am paying it to the vendor from whom I have purchased the pen. He is paying it to the distributor. He is paying it to wholesaler. So like this, when the tax is going to government in different ways, that is why it is also called as multiple point tax. Everyone is putting their bit. You know how we play that passing the parcel kaise khelte hai na? Waise. Coming half an hour, it will be clear to you. Why is it indirect tax? If I am giving coaching chargeable to you all, okay, I'm teaching you taxes and say I'm charging 5,000 fees plus 18% GST. Who is bearing the GST? You, dear students. But you are paying it to me and I'm paying it to government. So indirectly, when we pay the tax, it is called as indirect tax. Now, because on goods VAT was charged, on services service tax was charged. Now, the best example I can talk, I'm teaching little theoretical, little practical. Then exam point of view, what is important, I'll say, and so many places I'll write R. R means एक बार read करके छोड़ दो. And few things absolutely I'll leave, that also I'll say. Okay. Now why I'm giving you restaurant cases? I'm from Hyderabad. I think most of you are from South because these classes are in English. That's what I think so. So now these restaurant ka example. So I am in Hyderabad and there's a very famous South Indian restaurant, Minerva. They charge idli for 110. Okay. Now, is this idli selling of goods? Are they selling me idli? Yeah, ma'am. But are they giving me services? In AC room, I'm sitting and ordering, and on my table, I'm getting food, water, all facility. So this kind of activity pay, if it is goods, let us charge VAT. If it is services, let us charge service tax. It's a combination. So what to charge? Someone is making the house and selling, so that comes under goods. But then he's giving the services also, make to order, job work, right? So there are so many works contract. So there are so many cases where it's not clear whether are you selling the goods. Nowadays customized buses and all are prepared for celebrities, TV actors, and film stars and all, inclusive their makeup room, gym room, relaxation. So are they selling the bus or are they giving the services? So there was a lot of confusion whether it is a goods or a service. They said, forget it, we will make Income Tax Act, we will make GST Act common. Whether you sell goods or whether you sell services, we will charge GST. One more best example I can give you for this is parlor. Whenever you go to salon or parlor, say you are doing hair coloring, L'Oreal hair coloring, they are charging you 1500 rupees. Are they selling you the L'Oreal color bottle in 1500? Yes. Uspe kya lagega? VAT. Second, are they applying also and then washing and shampoo and all that? Yes. Services. So it's a combination of goods and services. Are you getting? One more common example. These were the glitches when VAT was there. I have taught VAT also. In 2007-8, जब VAT आया था वो भी पढ़ाया. So VAT and service tax had this biggest problem. You give your vehicle for servicing. He says, sir, brake liner we'll have to change. Okay, put 500 rupees. He got the brake liner and he has put in your vehicle. Now, has he sold you the goods, brake liner? Yes. But to fit that and all, has he provided services? Yes. Now, so now they combine everything. In 2017, GST started. It says whether you sell goods or whether you give services, GST is going to be charged. So as of now, we have three kind of taxes in India, majorly. On your direct income, direct tax, income tax, indirect tax, two. One is GST, applicable on goods and services. Second is custom duty, applicable on import and export. Now you may be saying, ma'am, but are we still paying excise duty on some of the products, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, petrol and all? So we will see those goods. There are some goods where the state is not willing to see. The states have major income from alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Why every time I'm adding that tagline? Because we know that alcoholic liquor is used in syrups and pharmaceutical companies. That is different. But for human consumption, the state is putting cigarettes, tobaccos on that. Marzi hai itna. Whatever they feel like, they are putting taxes, excise and all. So that's the major income. Now, if see, GST is the center and state milky. It's called as dual tax concept. See, these are all going to come in MCQs. So today's class, you may feel I'm not sharing much notes, I'm not writing. But as I came to Hyderabad and trying to learn Telugu, you are trying to learn English, Hindi. Like that, there's a language of GST. So every now and then when I say dual, yeah ma'am. Dual taxes, when I am selling goods to you, some part of GST is going to center, some part is going to state. But when I am selling alcoholic liquor, state says, nahi ye mera hai, all I want. Now, if the center is saying no alcoholic liquor also, let us take it in the center, put GST on that. The state is going to lose 50% revenue, which they don't want. That's the reason. See, so many times, ma'am, is this going to come in the exam? But this is very important. Logically, padna hai, ratta maar ke nahi. That state has their major income from these products, so they don't want it to go out of their hand. Then they give all those schemes and all. How is my speed? All clear until now? Right? Let me share the screen. And why we are charging custom duty, dear students? Custom duty किस पे है? Import and export. 2 classes introduction will go. I'll make you write some example also so that it will all be clear. Right? So this is the concept of the GST. One second, dear students, just wait, please. Thank you for waiting. Okay. Now, when we know that GST is charged, yeah, what are the taxes which other than this also states are collecting? Municipal taxes and stamp duty. Imagine if stamp duty goes to, I know recently, like if you purchase and sell a property, while purchasing also I paid 8% stamp duty. Same property when I'm selling, he has to pay 8%. So there's no set off allowed, because again that's one of the very important income for the state government. So these are the reasons. Right now we will leave the income tax and we will go to the GST part. So let us be comfortable with all these terms. Now, whenever you sell the goods or services, there's a term called as intrastate supply. Ma'am, you didn't say supply. Today's class, I like the first class. The reason is all the 15 chapters name will come. This is the name of your chapter 2. But sabko, how do you listen to a song and 5 times if you're re-listening, you sing? You remember some Sri Lankan song came and everyone started Malli and something like that. So this is like that. What is your chapter 2? Supply. Now, why we are talking supply? Ma'am, last 10 minutes you are saying either I am selling goods or I am giving services. And what is this supply? Supply is a wonderful name for these twinsies. Who are twinsies? Goods and services. We don't want to fight on those small chick. We want whether you sell goods or you give services, let us call it as supply. You got it? What is supply? Whether you sell goods or you sell services, it's supply. I'm supplying you goods, I'm supplying you services. So it will commonly be called as supply. Now, after this, what do you mean by interstate supply? Within the same states, Telangana to Telangana, Maharashtra to Maharashtra, if I'm selling goods, if I am giving services, it's called as intrastate supply. Just learn the terms, understand the terms. Don't say define this. No one is going to ask you definitions. बहुत पढ़ लिए स्कूल डेज में साइंस में, अब नहीं पढ़ना है. Photosynthesis. Still I feel like, chemistry, biology, how much we all have studied. Okay. Intrastate supply. Now this is interstate supply. I am selling the goods from Telangana to Maharashtra. Interstate supply. Right? Anywhere you feel any term is not clear, don't wait that after Dipti ma'am will stop recording, she will say, now clear your doubts. Koi doubt chota bada nahi hai. Doubt is doubt. You have got a right to clear it. And if it is all clear, put AC, all clear. So now you know what is intrastate supply? Yeah. What is interstate supply? From one state when the goods or services are going to different state, right? Now, intrastate supply and interstate supply, what kind of taxes? Why do I say this is dual model tax? Please mark it, very important. इसको 5 star खिलाओ MCQ के लिए. GST is a dual model tax, means if I am giving you teaching services and if I am charging 18% tax, 50% tax is going to central government and 50% is going to the state government. See, all the governments need revenue. State government said, Tabhi to, we will pay the taxes, the government will give us all the amenities, no? roads and Swachh Bharat and this and that and that and that. Yeah. So whatever are the indirect taxes collected, 50% goes to center, 50% goes to the state. Now, if it is an interstate supply, if it is an interstate supply from one state to another, what will be charged? IGST. Interstate GST, IGST, right? IGST will be started. If it is intrastate supply, it will be CGST. 50% will go to the central government, 18 ka 9%, and SGST. 50% will go to. It is also called as destination based tax. Ma'am, are you teaching the features or are you teaching the advantages? The way I am teaching after my 1.5 hour class, if you revise from notes, you will learn it. Tomorrow I will ask you. If you have any doubts, ask, and then only I'll continue. That's why I'm saying 30 classes, maybe 28, maybe 32. I'm never dominant कि ये chapter इतने दिन में खत्म होना चाहिए. चलो. Why is it called as destination based tax? If I am supplying the goods from Telangana to Maharashtra, I want Maharashtra to take that credit. Now, what do you mean by credit? I'm coming to that term. Right now, on interstate supply, what will be charged? IGST. And on intrastate supply, what will be charged? CGST plus SGST. And if it is a union territory, we all know union territories are there with legislative and all, detail little more tomorrow's class. So then it will be CGST plus UTGST, central government GST or union territory GST. So this is how the taxes are charged. Now, why it is called destination based tax and all, everything will be clear in the coming 10-15 minutes. First, you understand the term ITC. This is the name of your chapter 6. अभी हम पढ़ रहे हैं chapter 1, supplies chapter 2, सब आ जाएगा. Rates and all is called as chapter 3, levy. Now I'm talking chapter 6, ITC. What's the full form of ITC? I did use this in business head and income tax also. The term is called as input tax credit. The term is called as input tax credit. Anyone is confused at any point, ask now only. We will solve one example and it will be clear how the taxes are divided between center and state. Dual model tax, destination based tax, ये सब पूछते हैं आपको. Value based tax, that's why it is also called as VAT ka original name was value addition tax, because whoever is adding the value, they are paying the tax. Okay, now what do you mean this input tax credit? Let us take an example. A is selling the goods to B for 100 rupees. GST rate, just for our understanding, I'm writing 10%. Okay, A is selling the goods to B. Now B is receiving. What is the purchase cost for B? If B is a registered supplier under GST. Dear students, it's your first class, but let me tell you, registration limit is 20 lakhs turnover. Some cases it is 40 lakhs, I'll tell you, but once 20 lakhs ke upar your turnover, your gross receipts goes, you have to register. So if B is a registered supplier, he will purchase the goods for 100, 10 rupees, he will not add it to the cost of the purchase. He will keep it separate, input tax credit. Then he will do his value addition. You know, dear students, in indirect taxes, what is value addition? say 30 rupees he will add his expense, 20 rupees he will add his profit. So he is going to sell it in 150. Say again the GST is 10%, 15. Now B is selling it to C. B has already paid 10 rupees tax. Now he has sold the goods to C. So government is saying, oh, you sold to C, no? Output tax is 15. So government is saying to B, you give us tax payable, which is called as output tax minus input tax, 15 minus 10, that is 5. And B is happy, he's smiling and, smiling and he's very happy. You know why? Because we saying fair enough. Post COVID, it's all transparent. जो है वो है. Business में, services में, teaching में, कहीं भी. So B is saying fair enough. How much value addition B did? 50 on that 10% tax. Who is paying? B. Kitna? 5 rupees. A is paying how much tax to government? How much tax A is paying? 10. A has sold the goods to B and A was the initiator. So what he's done, can I please ask all of you to pay attention on the screen, and once I complete this example and give you time to write so that I can also take little 2 minutes of rest. Huh? So A has sold to B, he is initiator. So 10 rupees he has paid the tax to government because he has done 100 rupees value addition. B got it in 100. B didn't say that input tax credit is part of the purchase. He parked input tax credit separate because he's a registered dealer. C, he has sold 150 and 15 rupees. Government is saying 15 rupees though. B is saying already I have paid 10. 5 rupees I have added. See, in this is called as win-win situation for all. For government, for consumer, for taxpayers. That's why one of the advantages of the GST, it's transparent. Someday you happen to meet B and you say, oh, how much GST? You're asking, oh, how much GST did you pay? He says, sir, 5. And reverse calculation. 5 rupees he has paid according to 10%. So his value addition is 50. It's very transparent. Whatever you are doing the value addition, you pay the tax. Now suppose B to C. C has purchased for how much? 150. If he is registered, again he will take 15 rupees credit. Let us say C will do value addition 80 and 20. He will add his expense and profit 100. And C has sold it to D for 200. Again, C is charging from D 20 rupees. So, how much is now the tax payable by B ho gaya? This is the tax payable by C. C will say, okay, 20 rupees I have collected from D. This is not my income. I can't collect GST. GST though 20 and keep it in my pocket. It's a crime. Like in income tax, we say TDS. 20 minus 15, that is equal to, oh, am I doing it right? 150. हाँ, इसको 250 लेते हैं. Let it be सब same figure हो जा रहे. Just created the problem on my own, no? 250. So let this be 25, 10%, and 25 minus 15, 10. See how much value addition he did? 100 into 10%. Is this example clear? Why it is dual model is not clear here. Uske liye I'll give you another example. But why there is, one more term is there, cascading effect. Once they asked exclusive 5 marks question in the CMA exam, explain with example how cascading effect is eliminated in GST. I have printed one example in the book. I'll share that. First, I want all of you to write this and ask me, ma'am, why you are making us write this? This is your chapter 6. आउटपुट टैक्स माइनस इनपुट टैक्स इज जीएसटी पेबल. कोई भी एग्जाम खोल के देख लो, 6 to 8 marks question you get from chapter 6. If you want right now only, write and keep value of supply and ITC are the biggest scorers in the exam. And for CA exam, so it comes mandatory only, question number 1. Sure, I'll take one very exclusive class for the MCQs also once we complete all this. Today is base building. I feel my speed is fine, but can you all put something in the chat box? All clear? And are you all writing? Is the screen also clear? Anyone in the class, honestly, array, ye to bahut easy hai. This like ma'am is teaching is chiller, you can say. Screenshot le lo. Then marks and results are also screenshot. Go with the traditional way of learning. I'm telling you, no student has failed. It's not I'm boosting myself ki Dipti ma'am se pad lo, pass ho jate. But it's like bringing out the best version of yourself which is required for exam. All clear? Just 2 seconds. I'm not giving any break because we started at 6:30 and 8:15 I'll close. Aap likho 2 seconds, I'll check in. Just. Yes. I'm waiting to receive some message from all of you. It is all clear until now. I would like you all to write 2 more examples also in this. Yeah. And I think this much is enough for introduction. Yeah, what are the taxes subsumed and what is direct tax, indirect tax? See, the questions are fixed. Write a short note on GSTN and all. Yeah, very nice question. Will A also get ITC or not? If he's a manufacturer and on the raw material he has paid some input tax credit, he might. But suppose A has sold the goods to B by bringing all, he's the manufacturer initiating. So if he has paid GST, definitely it will be given. A will also get the credit. We can, add on like this. Shall I twist this example? Let me do it with a different color so that you all don't get confused. यहाँ ना मैं एक चेंज कर रही हूँ. ये देखो. Suppose A is how do we twist it? Yeah, 80 rupees raw material he is paying, 8 rupees input, 88 and 12 rupees value addition he is doing and selling to B. So suppose A has paid 8 rupees on raw material of 80. He can take the input tax credit. Is this clear to all of you? Thank you for writing. And I want proof. You all are going to click pictures and send me in Telegram and or WhatsApp, wherever you are connected, to share. Chalo, open your material now, which I have given. Why we need to charge the taxes, this you can read. Many times they are asking this question in exam. Let us first check this illustration. So, what used to happen in the VAT and CST? They are asking what are the deficiencies in VAT and what is CST full form? Central Sales Tax. So what were the deficiencies there that we had to move to the this GST? And it's not criticizing them and boasting this, huh? 2 of our missions failed, no? Chandrayaan 1 and 2. But when 3 became successful, it is because of the failure of 1 and 2, and we decided what to do best, right or not? So suppose, let us take this example and this transaction with CST. CST mein what was happening? A was selling to B 100 and 10 laga ke 110. Now B made 40 rupees addition, right? Okay. On 110, 40 rupees addition he made. 50 rupees this is. Addition he made and he sold it for 160. Okay. Right. Now 160 mein 16 rupees tax he is charging. Who? A has selling it to B, say 110, 110. B is getting it for 110. Ma'am, just now you said 100 plus 10. That is here. Here B is adding the earlier CST excise duty all. So 110 may B added 50 rupees and this is 160. On 160, when B is charging 16 rupees, am I charging tax on 100 plus 10 plus 50? Look at the screen. 100 पे 10%, on 10, 10% on 50. So already I am paying 10 rupees excise duty or you can say CST, and on that I am paying tax. This is called as cascading effect. Tell me the term is clear or not. If it comes in MCQ, 2 out of 2 marks. I teach DT, I teach GST. Let me tell you, DT is very interesting scoring, but GST is super duper easy and scoring. Easy, and GST at inter level, the paper is very easy. Final they will twist all TDS, TCS and case laws. Abhi kuch nahi hai. Income tax to bhi I teach some of the in-depth things in capital gain and business head. GST is just simple. So what did I teach you now, term? Look at me and say cascading effect. Tax on tax. I'll give you one more very nice example to help you understand the cascading effect. See, let me write it here. Wohi example. So is this clear? You are charging the tax? Yeah. And then this is 166. Now let us take. In GST, same 100 rupees goods, A is selling to B. B is taking the purchases as 100, 10 rupees it is keeping separate. I know, I don't know why some mistake happened here. 40 was the value addition. Okay, chalo. Now B has done say 40 value addition. So 140 is selling the goods. 14 he has to recover. So 14 and 10, 4 rupees. Are you getting? 14 and 10, 4 rupees. He's doing the value addition. 4 rupees. B is saying, okay, I'm selling this for 154. Okay. I'm selling this for 154. Here it is 166. So ultimately in GST, the final cost is coming down. This is also one of advantage. Why? Because there is no tax on tax on tax on tax. ये तो चल रहा है अभी someone will buy in 166. Again when he charges 10% tax 16, he's charging tax on tax on tax. That's called as cascading effect. Here B is saying, okay, I purchased in 110, but I will keep 100 separate, 10 separate. I will do value addition 40. 140 mein I have sold it. And 14 rupees is my output minus input 4. 154. What's the final selling price here? 154. What is here? 166. Same taxes, same thing. Why there's a difference? Because there is no tax on tax. So this is the example which should make it clear. Now let us read something for theory. Do you all need a break or we can continue for 45 minutes more? Of course, introduction will go on tomorrow. Supply will go on for the next 2 classes. Not tomorrow, Friday. Will surely let you know when I'm taking continuous classes. Otherwise, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, I'll take sometimes extra class. Abhi dekho. Distinguish between direct tax and indirect taxes. These are direct tax are levied on income of a person. Indirect tax is levied on goods and services. Can you underline the word now? Can you underline the word in exam? Lot of time my emphasis will be, dear students, put your hand. Abhi nahi, jab input tax credit and all. I'll say read the question in the way you are going to read in final exam. Second emphasis is make the work of the valuer easy. Clue point. See, every time you cannot write side heading and elaborate. At least clue points you can underline. So the conclusion is Mr. Raj is a resident and ordinary. So underline karo na with the same pen, black ballpoint pen. Now, amount of tax is determined directly on the basis of income and wealth. Amount of tax is determined indirectly. Tax incidence is borne by same person. On my own income, I have to pay advance tax. Tax incidence all is borne. Ultimately, all the taxes are borne by the consumer. I'm paying excise duty on this. I'm paying CST on this. I'm paying GST on this, right? Higher collection cost as tax collection is difficult. Yeah, hardly 1 or 2% people are there who are paying income tax. But collection cost is easier. Even the layman, see, if you go and buy a ball pen for 10 rupees, he'll not say, oh, are you paying surcharge? You pay extra GST. I hope you're getting what I mean to say. Huh? This is the very next point also. Ki income tax is progressive in nature. Underline the clue word, mark it for MCQs. Now the true and false and all are not there in CA CMA exam. Why income tax is progressive? Oh, you are earning above 50 lakhs. Can you pay extra tax in the form of surcharge? Yes. Indirect tax is regressive. You buy a ball pen. Oh, are you a millionaire? And you are buying a 10 rupee ball pen. GST is 18%. Oh, are you a student yet not earning and you are buying a ball pen? 18%. GST doesn't make a difference in consumer. All the consumers are equal in GST. GST rates are product based, for which we have HSN. Ma'am, ab ye kya bala hai? Anyone in the class who knows what is HSN and can type and send me quickly? SAC. Google mat karo, dikh raha hai mujhe. I'm missing seeing your faces. Offline में जो दिखते हैं ना, face पे दिख के आता है कि who is understanding, who is sitting in the class and absent. Very good, very good, very good. That shows me that you all are not new. HNS is harmonized system of nomenclature. Don't worry, all these names will come. This is again there in the third chapter, levy and charges. HSN code will decide what rate of GST is applicable on goods. SAC, service accounting code, will decide what rate these services. See, like restaurant services are chargeable 5%. Educational services are charged 18%. So, all the consumers will bear equal burden means whether, okay, you want to learn income tax, no? Whatever may be your age, your qualification, you want to learn income tax from Dipti ma'am, 18% GST. Followed or not? Whereas income tax is, oh, you are earning above 5 crore, you can pay 37% surcharge. Followed? Example of direct tax is income tax GST. Will you surely get 5 out of 5 marks? I'm telling you, at the end, if you all agree and if you all are cooperative, I will solve June 24, 23, sorry, last, and May 23 and all CA CMA के लिए अलग कर देंगे end में. MTP, RTP, past exam questions also. That time you will understand, ma'am, what you said was like so easy and scoring. And if some of you are feeling, ma'am, you're doing so many repetition, तो दीप्ति मैम ने ना promise लिया आप सबको learn कराना है. Is this example clear? I know some rates are differing. I'll correct it and send the picture in the group so that you all can correct in your material. I have one more example also to write. Okay. So what was the problem with earlier taxes, you know? This is also asked in one of the exam. 1 second. Yeah. You know what was asked in one of the exam? What is the problem with the VAT? And you know, when I have studied as a student, I cleared my final in 1999. Income tax I studied नहीं. तो हमारे जमाने में ना mod VAT होता था. Mod VAT, modified value added tax, excise. So these are all borrowed concepts from foreign countries of charging indirect taxes. But one of the biggest problem of earlier tax was tax on tax. And now listen, input tax credit minus output is the tax payable. This did you follow? But if I'm buying from Mumbai, what am I paying? CST, Central Sales Tax, Mumbai to Hyderabad. And I'm selling locally in Hyderabad. What am I charging? VAT. Now VAT and CST can't be set off. I'm running a parlor. On all my products, what am I paying? VAT. Shampoos and hair color and blah and blah, brushes and all, I'm paying VAT. But what am I giving in my parlor services? So this set off was not possible. I am registered, you are registered, take the credit. Oh, you are registered, he is registered, take the credit. Oh, then I decided to buy it, say, from Anu. Now Anu is unregistered. He is not giving me the tax credit. How do I pass on? So in between, unregistered dealers were breaking the chain. The set-offs were difficult. There was so much juggling. I gave you 3 examples, that idli and that brake liner. Okay, what? Kya charge kare? Shall I charge goods or VAT, or shall I charge service tax? Even we educationalists used to face problem, you know. We sell our courses, DT and IDT, long-term batch, 5,000 rupees, inclusive books. Now books only we are selling, books and courier charges and all are more than 1,500 rupees. तो अब VAT लगाऊं या coaching पे CST, GST लगाऊं, service tax, right? So now exam point of view, let us check it what you have to write when they ask you what was the need for introduction of GST. Non-availability of the excise duty and service tax. See, if you are a manufacturer, you are paying excise duty, then on this, if when I'm selling, I have to pay GST. GST was charged 11 rupees. So GST was charged on purchase price inclusive of excise duty, because there's no set off for excise. So VAT dealers were not able to take the credit of the excise duty, because excise duty set off, who will get? Manufacturers. But they had to pay out of their pocket. No, I'm bearing the excise duty in manufacturing of this pen, but I'm not a manufacturer. So mujhe kahan set off milega, right? No credit of the CST. No credit of the VAT to service provider. If you want, write down the example, parlor or saloon. Saloons are 100% giving services and 5% GS and the service tax they used to pay that time. And for their products, no credit. Double taxation. VAT was charged on purchase value, inclusive excise duty. So cascading effect. Please do this now. How in school days our teachers have told, Arey, you're going to write essay on cow. Please use this beautiful language. Cow gives milk. Then my trainer, I'm also taking training. So my sir said, cow never gives milk. You have to extract milk. Nothing comes like that. High compliance cost, large number of taxes. I'm from Maharashtra, and let me tell you, in Maharashtra, you had octroi. When goods are crossing the toll and they are coming in your city, octroi. Again, when I'm selling somewhere, octroi. Entry tax. And there, abhi to nahi hai. Earlier, market cess was there. Now, if we are so much burdened with all the taxes, how our goods are going to be competitive with the world rates, where manufacturing is so cheap, taxes are hardly there. Huh? So that's why people started importing pencil from China, 20 paisa, India, 2 rupees. अब ये तो चाइना का प्रोडक्ट बिक रहा है और इंडिजिनियस नहीं बिक रहा, तो वी स्टार्टेड पुटिंग लॉट ऑफ ड्यूटीज टू द चाइनीज प्रोडक्ट, एंटी डंपिंग ड्यूटी and countervailing duty and all, so that when they come to India, and we tried to give lot of benefits to our indigenous product. We said to manufacturer, oh, Camlin company, are you manufacturing pencils? Oh, and you are charging 2 rupees because you have already paid some taxes. Please go and manufacture your product inside SEZ. What is SEZ? Special Economic Zone. Go and manufacture there. And what's the benefit of manufacturing over there? Yeah, you don't have to pay any taxes. Might well your product cost will come to 1.8 and then you can compete. Ma'am, is this going to come? No, but you should know few things to mandated. So are you clear what were the trouble? We can have it on our tips. No input tax credit for excise duty, no credit for CST, no set off of VAT in service tax. So these were the problem: double taxation, tax on tax, and high compliances cost. So these were the reasons they said abolish all these taxes and now let us go towards GST. What's the concept of GST? Value added tax. Is it proved in your notebook? An example? Huh? You know, one thing I missed over there, I want to share the screen and you can also. What's the total tax in this government is getting? A is paying how much? बेटा एक बार फिर से बोलो मुझे. 10 rupees. A पूरा 10 रुपए पे कर दे रहा है. B, how much he is doing value addition? 50. 5. C, how much he is doing value addition? 100. 10. What is total tax going to government through multiple people? 25. What's the final cost of the product? 250. So government is not losing. In fact, indirectly government is losing when they used to get tax on tax, no? The government was the happier. 165, 16.5. Are you getting? Did you digest one thing that earlier, ma'am, government was getting more tax on tax? Now, what's the A to B, B to C, C to D? Finally, what is the selling price for D? 250. On final product, 10%. I want you to write this. And you know, one thing I'm adding here, one more term, GST compensation cess. Ma'am, shall we write? Yes, please write, because in 3 hours exam, your pen should flow. If you're sitting like this and watching my lecture, it's not going to help you. Write down. Ma'am, what is this GST compensation cess? क्या चीज है ये? लिखा सबने? Yeah? Listen. Earlier, tax on tax, so all the state used to get, paid bhar ke taxes. Tax on tax, they used to get a lot of money. Now, because this has become value addition tax, whoever is adding 100 value 10, 50 value 5, 30 value 3, they are paying the tax like this to government. So state government said, earlier we used to get 35 rupees tax, now there we are getting 22 and 25. So if our taxes will reduce and our budget, this scheme, that scheme, free laptop, free this, free power, free buses to women traveling through bus, blah, blah, we are giving all, how do we match up? So then GST said, okay, on some sin products, SIN, sin products means the products which are there, but they are not good, like tobacco, cigarettes and all, pan masala, gutka, we will charge one more kind of GST. Over and above 12%, 18%, 24%, we will charge one more called as GST compensation cess. Naam hai compensation. Once they have asked, write 3-mark short note on GST compensation cess. So GST compensation cess is the additional tax they used to collect, and that would help them to patch up that pit which is caused because cascading effect is gone. This financial year, there's an amendment which says that now central government has said, okay, we will collect the GST compensation cess, we will not give anything to state. Enough years we have given. And state, you are not allowing us to charge GST on liquor. You are not allowing us to charge GST on petrol. Why we should give you GST compensation? ऐसे ही याद रखो. This is the amendment which came in the last 2 months. It's all written in your notes. Don't worry. Okay, right. Because I have talked for GST compensation cess and it's very much linked. Can I go little ahead and talk about that? शायद थोड़ा कुछ आगे पीछे होगा. Definitely, I'll move it ahead if it is. This is also very important for MCQs. Something or the other is asked. There's a trend on here. I'm on page number 14, dear students. Did you get it? Keep the chat box active. All clear or not until now? पत्ता भी नहीं चलना चाहिए कि क्लास खत्म हो गया 1.5 घंटे का. And please keep patience. I'm helpless for one thing. He can't start the problems till I complete the first 3 chapters. Then you will enjoy. Time of supply, value of supply, input tax credit. Aha. All question and answers. Okay. Let us read. I want all of you to write short note. Maybe 3 marks. Write down. A GST compensation sets at specified rate has been imposed under GST Compensation to States Act 2017 to compensate the state on loss due to implementation. See, you remember when GST was one thing. Ye pad lo, fir I will say. Cess is levied on specified luxury items or demerit goods. I called this as what? Sin goods. लिख के रखो. मैम एग्जाम में ऐसा कुछ तो नया नाम आया था. Some new name came. Sin goods. What is it? Pan masala, tobacco, cigarette, cigar, coal, lignite, aerated water, and motor car. So like these, there are some products on which GST compensation cess is charged over and above GST. Can we add like this? Over and above GST. Cess is charged over and above GST to compensate the state because state started crying like anything. Earlier tax on tax, we were getting 16.5. Now we are getting only 15. That difference wala example. So we need money. Center said, don't try, charge extra. You know, when they started charging compensation cess in 2017 and now it's 24. They said, okay, we will charge for 4-5 years. When that patch is cleared, we will stop. It's not good to charge. No, anyhow, India, we are paying 30% and I don't know how much taxes. Cess is computed on the value of taxable supply. Cess is levied in addition to GST. Taxpayers can use ITC of cess to set off output cess but not GST. Now this is a true and false. But because now they've stopped asking true and false, they are framing it in a question and asking as MCQ. Okay. Output cess minus input cess to milega. But you can say, ma'am, I've also paid cess on pan masala. Can I settle this with output GST? No. For taxpayers registered in composition scheme, cess is not applicable on the outward supply. Okay, right. Now, what is composition scheme? Chapter 3. There are some dealers, chote dealers, we can tell them, don't worry, output, input, you don't maintain the books, file the monthly return, GST compliance. You're a small trader, no? Just pay a fixed percentage of GST and you are free. So that's called as composition. Otherwise, it's section 10. We will learn. Yeah, coming to sections, ma'am, income tax, so many sections are there. Are we really required to learn all the sections? Not required. Whatever you feel like and what is very important, like if I say, if you can remember section 10 for composition scheme, it's good. If you cannot, no problem. Don't worry. Cess is not applicable on exporter. So exporter can claim refund of the cess if he has paid on input. You know, exporters, they get lot of refund and duty drawback. Ma'am, what is this duty drawback? Same. On my inputs, I paid GST I paid custom duty and now I'm exporting the goods. When you export the goods, you are doing a huge benefit to the country. In foreign currency, dollars, we are going to get money. That will improve our position, right? So when you are exporting, we want to encourage you. So whatever taxes you have paid on inputs, you will get a refund. Now here is an amendment. Someone was asking me, all the amendments are included. 110%. हर चैप्टर में आपको जो भी अमेंडमेंट है एप्लीकेबल फॉर June 24 exam. November and December, of course, you'll have to wait till August. Whatever amendments will come, we will have tax amendment classes. Have you all watched tax amendment 1 and 2 video also for direct taxation? In detail, I have covered the amendments and I have given the material also. If you need the material, message me. बहुत अच्छे से मैंने कराया है और उसको जरूर देखो. At least 8 marks is the weightage for that. ठीक है, चलो. Levy of GST compensation cess is extended from June 22 till March 26. Aha. Oh ma'am, एक साल और लगाने दो ना. We are getting extra taxes in the form of GST. One more. Now it's till 26. However, during this period, somewhere I have used CG for central government. Please don't write in exam. You write central government. Okay? So central government is under no obligation to give any compensation to states. I'll explain. What is this amendment? ये देखो क्या हुआ था. Listen, all of you. When states started crying, no, we are going to get less of tax, center said, don't try. We will compensate. We will compensate. And center कहाँ से compensate करेगा? They started this compensation cess and they kept something for themselves and they started giving to state. Now for this financial year 23-24, they said they will still charge the GST compensation cess, but now they will not share anything to the states. Enough years we have shared and compensated. States, you are getting enough of your own state wala income. हम जब property we are transferring from one to another, we are paying lakhs of stamp duty. That's going to state. Alcoholic liquor, some manufacturing items, it's all going to state. Followed this amendment, you will remember, more chances of getting this in MCQ rather than short note. Okay, right. Shall I go to the next topic, dear students? Is compensation cess clear to you? Right. Aajao. So we were in the concept. Value. It is a single tax on supply of goods and services right from manufacturer to consumer, and in a nutshell, only value addition tax. Continuous flow. Continuous flow of the tax credit. You know, we have seen, that's why I made you write the example first, because there is a continuous flow, you can say. Did you see? A has sold the goods to B, तो B ने credit लिया. B has sold to C, तो C ने credit लिया. So this GST provides continuous chain of tax credit from manufacturer to service providers to retailers and so on. Tax incidence is ultimately borne by final consumers. GST paid on the procurement of goods and services can be set off, and thus only final consumer will bear all the GST. Final end product in my example was for how much? 250 on. So consumer is paying 275 rupees, but he is paying to stationery wala 25. He has paid 20. He is paying and reverse. Followed? So these are all the concepts. Ma'am, how they are going to ask this in exam? Then MCQs. There are some direct theory question also. I will discuss. See, some chapters are theory. Like second chapter is application of knowledge. ITC, value of supply, time of supply, purely solve the problems, 5 marks and bye-bye. No theory question. Time of supply, value of supply is not having one para theory also. Registration chapter full theory. ऐसे पढ़ना है. Features of indirect taxes. It's a major source of revenue. If you talk about financial year 23-24, 1,60,000 crore is the monthly collection of the GST. One thing I have missed out, please allow me 2 minutes time. First, though, I used to give that in notes. Now I've stopped giving. I don't know how many of you have observed in my notes. To the point data is there. I can give you one page on history that GST started in 2000. When Chidambaram was the finance minister, he said no. And in fact, before that, let me tell you, first service, pehle to it was income tax and CST and all. Just little in 5 minutes, I'll say this, very informative and accurate. In 1994 or like that, when Manmohan Singh was finance minister, he said, when I'm selling goods, you are charging CST, you are charging mod VAT, excise duty. Huh? When I'm giving services, you are not charging anything. So he started service tax baby leave with three products. Three products. Telecommunication. Is it a huge service? Those times, pagers were there. Pager chalte the. Mobile ke pehle ki baat hai. So he started with telecommunication. Then he said insurance. Insurance is a complete service sector. We are giving insurance on that services. Service tax should be charged. So telecommunication, insurance, and one more. Yeah, share trading and all these brokerage services. So like this, he says, if someone is providing services, let us collect tax on that also. We can collect tax on income. We can collect tax on import. We are collecting tax on goods. Why not on services? And then they said, oh, three services are good. Add on this, add on. When I was studying in 1997, 200 services. Service tax study material used to be this thick. 200 services added on which service tax lagao. Then they came up with negative list. Okay, on this service tax is not there, except this all the service tax is there. Then since 2000, when Chidambaram was finance minister, he said we need to have one nation, one tax. Yeah, ma'am, this dialogue we have heard. So many GST offices also, you can see big banners now also. One nation, one tax. Whether you sell goods, you sell services, you charge one tax. Indirect tax one. Direct tax to hai income tax. So since then this got refined, and then GST Council, it's a team. Tomorrow we will see how detail and all, but just the name. GST Council is the team. They have their meetings, and every meeting, oh, now charge on this, don't charge on this, and your amendments come. Like in income tax. Are we following Income Tax Act 1961 now? This is 2024. We are following Finance Act 2023 for our exam. So what is Finance Act 23? 1961 Act refined now, 2023. Whatever changes are coming in 23 budget, and then it is implemented in financial year 20. Same way. GST Council will meet. Ghar mein who is having the major power? Huh? Father. Why? Because he is taking major responsibility also, right or not? So responsibility is equal to power. Take your responsibility from today. पढ़ाई नहीं हुई मेरी जिम्मेदारी. Pass नहीं हुआ मेरी जिम्मेदारी. The day you do this now, you will come out of your own minuses. बस उतना ही बोलना है. So like this, in the same way, who is running income tax in India? Who is governing? Can someone say in the chat box? It's on. Who is governing the income tax in India, and who is governing the indirect tax in India? This is to be known by all of you. सबको मालूम होना चाहिए. बोलो. Story खत्म हो गई, हाँ? Just in brief, I have discussed. Superb. Thank you so much for being so enthusiastic learner. It's a promise. Dipti ma'am will not leave one leaf unturned. एक कुछ कतरा नहीं छोड़ेंगे हम कि because these classes are just ऐसे ही कुछ तो कुछ पढ़ा दिया. No, I know. For me, though it is teaching, but for you, it is a matter of 6 months. Your career is at stake when you are trusting me. So what I asked you, that who is governing the direct tax in India? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Then indirect taxes, ये सब notes में लिखा है, but maybe it must be left and right. Indirect taxes governed in India by whom? CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Custom. Please write it once as a respect to CBIC. लिख लो. Some of you are leaving, joining. Why, beta? I sit right in front of the Wi-Fi so that there is no network issue. Because it's a great loss for you. You will not understand. And my team is taking care. If you are coming and going and coming, you will not get the Zoom link. I am willing to do double the work for students who are committed. That I'll come to know when you write your first class test of GST and send me the paper. Pata chal jayega. Chalo. What are the features of indirect taxes? It's a major source of revenue. Am I right? See, I told you there are 1 or 2% people who are above 10 lakhs and they are paying 30% income tax. But all the people are paying, from layman to middleman to higher earning people. All the hierarchy are paying indirect taxes. Am I right? Huh? It is levied on goods and services. Right? Yeah, let me tell you one term now only, though it's very important in chapter 2. Import of services. It is treated as interstate supply. Superb question for MCQ. Are you all filling up? जैसे मैं आपको कुछ यहाँ लिखा रही हूँ, आप लोग थोड़ा 3D 5D मेकअप कर रहे हैं नहीं बुक का? Import is treated as interstate supply and IGST is levied. Shifting of incidence of tax. Indirect tax, the burden is shifted from A to B. That's why I made you write that example. All the features we have covered. Indirect tax burden shifts from the person who ultimately consumes it, and there's a shifting. GST paid by supplier is recovered from buyer to consumer, and so on. Consumer don't feel the pinch of the taxes. I told you, this is for how much? MRP. What's full form of MRP? Maximum retail price, inclusive of all taxes. We feel burden. Even I feel so bad when I'm coming in 30% slab. It's okay if I'm earning, but 100 रुपए कमाऊं, उसमें से 30% to income tax paid to government, remaining 70%. In that 70%, when I go home, I have to pay municipal tax. When I go on road and I book cab and all, I pay. Like half of my income is going taxes में pay करने में ही चले जाता है India में. So consumers don't feel the burden of GST. Next is, it leads to inflation. Now these are two contradicting things. One is the final price is reduced in the GST. But the problem is, it's charged on everything day by day. Earlier they said, okay, these basic, what do you call basic products? Don't charge GST then all. For that dairy products, chhod do. Isko bhi dal do. So day by day, what is happening is, either what was covered under 5% is now covered under 18%. Or products on which no GST is there has come in. So tax imposed on goods and services causes increase in the prices and it is charged. I am taking classes right now on Zoom. I am paying 1500 rupees per month. Actually, the charges of Zoom are 1300. Baki pura GST and all. So whether it is, what do you call it, interstate, intrastate, import of services, pe bhi GST lag raha hai. Zoom is not from India, but I am paying GST because it's a destination based service. Zoom is from ESA, they are giving services in Hyderabad. Le lo. IPA, Internet Protocol Address, कहाँ का बता रहा है दीप्ति मैम? इंडिया. Zoom, GST लो दीप्ति मैम से. So it leads to inflation because it is charged on a wide basket of goods and services. किसी को नहीं छोड़ा है. It widens the tax, unlike direct taxes. See, direct taxes, if this is the population, say only these many people are paying the tax. And उसमें भी these many people are paying the tax, 2 lakh, 5 lakh income, ये 10 lakh और कुछ भी नहीं है. मतलब it's like very few people are paying higher tax. Celebrities, film stars, cricketers. Whereas indirect taxes, majority of goods and services are covered. Some or the other tax is there. Helps in promoting social welfare. As I said, on the products which are not recommended, cigarettes, tobacco and all, they are charging GST compensation cess. It's regressive in nature. Ma'am, this we already covered in the distinguish between. So is it clear to you once again, dear students? What are the features? Majority source of revenue, more than direct taxes. Levied on goods and services both. There's a shifting of burden. That's why it is also called as destination based tax, multiple point tax. Consumers do not feel pinch, leads to inflation, widens the tax base, and all this. Clear? Right. Please read and come if you have any doubt. Ask. It started on 1st of July. It's a destination based tax. It is levied at all the stages. It's called as a value addition. Value addition, dekhte se you should remember one example. Okay, right. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages we'll cover, and then I think we'll stop so that we can continue the set off of IGST. Tomorrow's class, what I'm teaching is actually in detail covered in the 6th chapter, but I'll start it tomorrow so that by the time we go to 6th chapter na, और थोड़ा repeat हो जाएगा. चलो. Did I say this word already? Benefits the country will accrue. GST is a win-win situation for all. It's very transparent. Can I put some of the features in the advantages in exam? Answer is yes. GST eliminates cascading effect. There is no tax on tax. Output tax minus input tax is tax payable. You know what? अब ये cascading कैसे निकाला है? Let me tell you one example. Listen, I purchased a touch screen laptop, okay, and I paid 18% GST. I claimed input tax credit. Then from my students, when I collect fees, output tax, input tax, and I used to pay. This touchscreen laptop got old. This is covering up one of your recent amendment also. Touchscreen laptop purana ho gaya. I decided it to donate to my nearby government school. That you are in your computer lab, you are using laptops and desktops for some training to students. You can use my laptop. I can't write on this now. हो गया. What depreciation लगता है? ये पेन का टिप गया, एक बार गया तो गया. अभी I gave that laptop. Now listen all of you. While I purchased the laptop for 1 lakh rupees, did I take 18,000 input tax credit? Yes. Now I gave that laptop to the school. Did I sell to the school? No. I just donated it. This is called as deemed supply. And on that GST is to be charged. Arey, but ma'am, I have not sold it. Okay, then whatever input tax credit you have taken for these many years, usko reduce karke you reverse and pay. Are you following? Ma'am, now how will you calculate? Don't worry. 6th chapter. Ma'am, since last 1.5 or 6th chapter, abhi pumping heart of GST is 6th chapter. पूरा च्यू करके खा जाना है. 4th class, 5th class, कितने class चाहिए for input tax credit? You can score superb marks if you plan your GST. And the best part of the GST is you can park like this. Income tax you cannot predict beta. Question number 1 is business head deductions. Sometimes salary they will ask you all allowances. Sometimes all return you can't predict. ये fix है. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So this laptop which I have donated, it's a deemed supply, government is saying. And मजे से you took smartly input tax credit. Now reverse and pay. Okay. Where else do you pay the tax on these kind of notional incomes, dear students? कहाँ pay करते हैं बेटा? House property. The more you can link the topics, the subjects, you will do wonderful in your final exam. It's beautiful profession you all are in. One of my friend, we qualified together. Her package is 1.25 CR. She combined her CA and some technical language and all. And now so she's a finance and purchase director in a company. And so many of my students, they are in Dubai, they are in India, they're doing too good. Provided they have cleared the exam with also and they have enjoyed that knowledge also. दोनों काम करेंगे. After attending the class, if you are not able to solve, any other academies, fast exams, RTPs, MTPs material, bring it to me. Click करो, photo लेके आओ, हम solve करेंगे. चलो. So can I continue with the benefits? Elimination of cascading effect. One nation, one market. One nation, one taxes. Huh? Now interstate पे CST लगाओ, intrastate पे VAT लगाओ, और ये सब नहीं है. It's all simplified. So introduction of GST, no cascading effect. Can I skip reading word to word, please? For me also, it's very difficult, and you do some homework, and then you say, ma'am, after reading also, this para is not clear. 6:15 के पहले ही class on हो जाएगा. I'll send you the link today itself so that this trouble is not there. Elimination of multiple taxes and double taxation. Cascading effect is not there, and double taxation is not there. On excise duty you are charging, on CST you are charging. See, I am purchasing from Mumbai, I am paying CST, मेरे को I am not getting any credit for CST, so I will to charge VAT on 110. No, same concept. Reduction in overall tax burden of the consumer. Did you observe in my example that final selling price here, if it is 164, there it is 156, because there is no tax on tax. More competitive products. This I cleared by saying the India-China example. Introduction of GST would make our product competitive. Huh? And we are motivating it is giving a boost to Make in India initiative. That is Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar, so many things we are. See, before COVID, India's anyhow manufacturing industry is quite powerful. But for so many things we were dependent. And then when we made vaccine, that confidence came, and now those parts also for my manufacturing, if I'm going to import this part and do, now we are making that also. So a lot of startup benefits are also given. Boost to employment and investment, because now a lot of manufacturing, service. I'm telling you, literally, this is 2024. If I turn back and look at 94, there was no service industry. I mean, say if I've told someone कि मैं ना जब CA पढ़ती थी, तो in our coaching academy we used to call parcel from Swiggy, someone would laugh. What is this Swiggy? How can someone come and deliver you sandwiches at your coaching academy? But it's possible now. You have n number of services. I need not talk about that. Till last year, people were doing lot of gaming. All this satta speculation was going on in IPL. Now they have started 194S in income tax. That cryptocurrency, online gaming, they have made it legal. Anyhow, gaming was going on. People were earning money. Government was not getting any money. Now they have made betting, gambling, this all legal. So what is happening when they've simplified the taxes? No, earlier we used to not see one or two services. I remember when we were small children, we used to book the train tickets, we used to book the hotels. Now, at one click, go Ibibo, make my trip, they'll make you the package. We will do everything. You pay them GST on their services, finished, over and out. Follow? So this is going to widen the tax base. This is going to create a lot of opportunities in India. I think little we can go fast here because I can see that response. Increase in government's revenue. I told you highest collection this year was, and it was higher 10% than last year. More figures you can check in Google. Easier administration. Best part of GST. These words should be seen in your answer sheet. Tug, cascading effect, double taxation, transparent. It's transparent, no? Whatever value addition you are doing, you are paying the tax on tax. Yeah? Easy for doing the business. Simple structure, exemptions. Oh, you are a chota mota SSC, please don't cry that every month I have to file GST return. Go for composition. Go, do your business. So like this, lot of benefits are coming. Automated procedures. Recently your income tax and GST has also got saying I can't show a different turnover in my income tax audit and in my GST. So if you go to the GST portal, so many things are all auto-dropped, automated. So that is very helpful. GST is largely technological driven. The interface of taxpayer. See, there's no GST authority sitting जिसको जाके please करना है, bribe करना है. अरे no, everything you have to log in a complaint also online. You will get the token number and answer, and you don't know who is doing the scrutiny of your return. So no question of bribing and all. Benefits to small traders and entrepreneurs. GST has increased the threshold limit for registration. Online mein so many people are getting the benefit, no? Small people who are doing handicrafts and all and promoting across India through online websites. So business has become good, right? It's a dual model. This part I will do. Acha, one thing I want to say, framework of GST, I want all of you to write, refer all chapters. यहाँ पे लिखो just read. It's there in the first chapter to just make some noise in your ears. If I discuss all this, it's not I'm going to skip, I'm going to read it tomorrow. But if I'm going to skip, no, so it will not fit. But if I make some noise in your ears, no, you can just look at this. This is like name of all your 5 to 6 chapters. Registration is a chapter, composition is a chapter, ITC is a chapter. और इसको बेस्ट फ्रेंड बनाओ, इसको गले लगाना है, किटकैट खिलाओ, 5 स्टार खिलाओ, सब खिलाओ. I'm not teaching it now. It will take 15 minutes for me. I'm going to do it tomorrow. So skip all these pages and I want to see what are the taxes subsumed. Yeah, let us take up this. I marked it. Very beautiful one-liner topic for MCQ. GST is levied on all the goods and services except alcoholic liquor for human consumption, in which the state is still charging excise duty. Petroleum, crude, diesel, petrol, ATF. ATF is the fuel used in air flights and all, and natural gas. On all this, GST is not there. Taxes not subsumed. I want you all to learn this language. You know, when you pay attention to what Dipti ma'am is asking you to pay attention, exam mein haan ye suna hai. What is the state the list of taxes not subsumed? What do you mean by taxes not? Means these taxes are still existing. Dipti ma'am is saying only income pay income tax, goods and services pay GST, khatam. Still there are few products and few taxes which are going on, and there's a different level of the politics you can say here, ki why they are not allowed. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Yeah, manufacturing production continues to be subject of the state excise duty. In Maharashtra, we have Sule farms. If they, no, some Sule wines, no, like that. So if they are doing very good business there and they are earning a good revenue for Maharashtra government, it doesn't want to share this revenue with the whole, no. अब ये मेरा स्टेट है, मेरा इनकम है, मैं इस पे एक्साइज ड्यूटी, इफ दिस गोज टू जीएसटी, half will go to center, half will come to state. Why I will do like that? So alcoholic liquor for human consumption, still what is levied? Excise duty. Are you doing underlining and circling as I am doing? Yeah. And interstate pe still they are subject to VAT and CST. Petroleum, diesel, all these kind of the crude oil and all, till date excise duty continues to be levied. See, that's the reason, simple reason, petrol rates are different in different states. Yeah. So abhi bhi kya lag raha hai? Excise duty. Tobacco, GST is leviable on tobacco. However, union government has also retained the power to levy excise duty on tobacco. Tobacco is made from tendu leaves. So tendu leaves are processed and all. So on tobacco manufacturing, pay excise duty, they have huge income. So they don't want to let go that. So excise duty is also charged, and when it is sold interstate and all GST. So is there still a cascading effect? Because on cigarettes you are paying excise duty on 100, and on 116 you are paying GST. So very well this is covered. Opium, Indian hemp, narcotic drugs and all, they are subject. Ma'am, of drugs to hai illegal, no? There are some kind of these products which are used in medicines and all also. So they are subject to GST as well as excise duty. You cannot grow them and all without permission, and some rules are there. Utta detail mein nahi jana. Real estate. This really is pinching, literally pinching, I'm saying. Lakhs of rupees of stamp duty we are paying to state and we are not getting any set off. Real estate sector is out of GST. No GST on purchase and sale of immovable property. Oh, I purchased the property in 1 crore. That time I paid 10 lakh stamp duty. Now I'm selling it in 3 crore. 30 lakh. Can I claim a set of? Kuch nahi milta. This goes to the government. This also goes to government. On purchase and sale of the property, stamp duty is collected and this goes to the government. Followed. So will you be able to answer one-liner question or not? Alcoholic liquor, petrol, tobacco, opium, all these are still covered under excise duty. Real estate पे excise duty नहीं है, stamp duty है, but these are the reason they, very nicely, if you read the bare act of GST, they will say, oh, these items will come in the ambit of GST from future date. What's that future date? We don't know. Chhod do. Existing taxes which are subsumed. Now you don't have the central excise duty except on the above products. Duties of excise, additional duty of excise. There were so many types of excise duty. Additional excise duty on textile, additional excise duty, countervailing duty, service tax, CST, central surcharge, all this has gone. State VAT gone. Luxury tax and hotels and all gone. Entry tax and all gone. Entertainment and amusement tax, it's not there. Advertisement pe there was tax. Purchase tax, taxes on lottery, betting and gambling, and state surcharge. So these are, and CST council makes recommendation. हाँ ये तो ठीक है कि क्या क्या taxes subsume हो गए, but this is just a simple list that they have removed these taxes, but still central excise duty is there on tobacco. Still it is there on liquor. Followed? So this is all about it. Compensation cess we have done. Okay. I think that's all for enough. Tomorrow we are doing part 2, which will have 3 things. GST portal, GST council, and your set off, and of course this I really don't like. दीप्ति मैम ये क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? थोड़ा हेल्प करना ना मुझे प्लीज. मुझे तो ये पढ़ाना ही नहीं है. आप बोल दो मैं खुद से पढ़ लूंगा, मैं खुद से पढ़ लूंगी. You know what is this? Whenever you want to introduce an act, you need to make the amendment in Constitution of India, and this is like civics. I don't like it. But literally in your MCQs, they are asking that in Constitution, they introduced Article 246A to introduce like that. So what is relevant, we leave. If you read this in study material, you check it, it's running into pages. What is very important for exam, I have put it. And please help me for this part by reading and coming. Deepti ma'am ko nahi aata na civics. 10th में 60%, 12th में 62%. क्या बताएं आपको? So this is all about the introduction class. Keep patience till we complete introduction, supply and label. Then you will come into the flow. After completing the chapter, immediately important problems. Both the study material are there with me, CMA, CA. So I will take you to that material and we will solve those questions. And in my material, printed questions are also there. Past exam questions also I have made a separate compiler. When we go to that chapter, I'll circulate the PDF to you. So keep that also. So it will have all the past exam questions chapter wise at them. Exam mein to sab haphazard hai, but for practice, okay. Once we complete the value of supply, this is the way they are asking the question. So that will give you a grip on the presentation also. Okay. Any suggestions from your side, dear students? Did you all follow? Any doubts are there? Then please ask. And if you feel honestly I've done some value addition in the last 1.5 hour. किसी ने बताया नहीं आपको दीप्ति मैम बहुत गुरु दक्षिणा लेते हैं, बहुत बहुत ज्यादा. I feel so good when I see my students qualified and when I meet them. I go for Sunday meditations, and this Sunday I met one student. He completed his CA in 2018 and 20 lakhs plus package, doing superb and still expecting promotion. He's really doing so good, and he was stuck up those days. I remember his father was also on dialysis and many more things were going on. That also they could do. Mute, Manoj. Yeah. So in those circumstances also, I used to ask him, chalo, relax and write chapter-wise exam in the next two. It were offline classes, 17 men. And I used to take classes in other room without any teacher, without any invigilator. Honestly, he will sit and write the exam. And he got some 82 marks like that. So this is what I'm saying. It's just me pushing you. You all can bring best result. Where exactly you're stuck up, you tell me. To be honest, I'm enjoying these classes more than my morning class. It's not कि morning में मैं 1% भी छोड़ती हूँ, but there that interaction and response is not there. Can you all please communicate with me? Let me do one thing. That's all for today's class.